what he said, China is an emerging power. Everyone acknowledged. And he was really at pain to quote what Marco Rubio said at one meeting about the emerging of this multipolarity, how it must be managed. The challenge is the two big powers, the Chinese power and the American power. How are they going to work together to really influence the global development, to reduce some of the tensions that we're seeing around the world? I think that's essentially what President Beg was challenging all of us here to start thinking about this.
And we're paying for that. And so at a certain point, you wouldn't expect a man like that in a highly precarious position, I think it's fair to say, to assume a high-handed tone with American officials and berate them and sniff a lot and say, just basically act like a crazy person. How do you account for that? The arrogance. What is that?
Look, accordingly, Mkhonto weSizwe will formally oppose any official visit of Zelensky to South Africa, and we will stage protest against the visit of Zelensky into South Africa. We do not want him to come because he has been a puppet of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization-led militarism, which sought to destabilize Eastern Europe and possibly the entire world through an unjust and unfair expansion of NATO forces.
One of these rapacious Chinese deals where it's sign over your mines, sign over your port, or it wasn't a loan to own. Here's a loan, you're never going to be able to pay it back. We're going to get this. It's a genuine economic partnership that they put in assets. We can put in loans from our overseas banks. We put in American know-how, and we don't make any money unless they make money. And you know who doesn't like that? People with their hand in the till.
Right.
Because we were regulating the flow of the money. So I think that's part of the glitch.
Provincial government, as he was informed that you would be handing over a house paid for by a private donor. Therefore, the allegations against Mr. Ramaphosa are unsubstantiated. Accordingly, the conduct of Mr. Ramaphosa does not constitute improper conduct as envisaged in Section 182, 1 of the Constitution. And
South Africa, 60%, 30%, and they've got some bad things going on in South Africa. We're paying them billions of dollars, and we cut the funding because a lot of bad things are happening in South Africa. The fake news ought to be looking at it. They don't want to report it.
Established that Mr. Ramaphosa was invited by Ms. Ntombela only on the launch of the Litsema campaign that morning to hand over the keys of a house to Ms. Ntaku. He was neither aware that the handing over of a house would take place during the Litsema campaign, nor did he have knowledge that the house was paid for by the Free State provincial government.
We also commend the plans to expand Gautrain into Limpopo, featuring a 420-kilometer high-speed rail line connecting Pretoria and Polokwane, aiming to enhance transport and economic growth. Since it will be able to reach the majority of people, the plan will increase its financial viability.
And the minister has been quite clear that, look, there's only one person who can represent the government in international relations, or rather two people. It's the president and the minister himself. So they do not represent the people of South Africa, neither do they represent the government of South Africa. They went there on their own frolic, and that's that. And whatever they have achieved cannot be claimed to be on behalf of the Republic. You would recall, Cody, that the minister himself has been to Washington. A number of other delegations sent by the authority of the president have been to Washington previously to engage on various aspects with various interlocutors on South Africa's foreign policy and also on South Africa's trade policy. So this idea that we now have a government of national unity, therefore even political parties can represent the government, I think is a misnomer. The DA is a non-state actor, and their actions should not be construed as that of the